Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everybody this morning? I hope everybody is fine and enjoying this beautiful what? Fresh start morning. Yes, fresh start. Fresh start morning. We have gotten another beautiful morning, y'all. I tell you the truth. Woo! I love these fresh starts. Time when you get able to get up and just leave everything behind and start fresh. How about that? That is so awesome to me. And since I've been dealing with fresh start, I've really gotten into it. I don't know if you all have. I've really gotten into it because it keeps me grounded not to let uh the challenges of life. When life be life, and make sure it don't life me. Yes. Listen, good morning and welcome to A Fresh Start with Chanagrace McIver. I am so excited to be here with you. I am a certified life coach. I do have a doctorate in counseling. And my area of specialty is relationships. However, I do go into other areas because as a life coach, that's just what that means, life coach. Life is not just relationships, it's work, it's some of everything. But my specialty area is relationships. And I've moved into another area now that is superseding that because I've learned that in order for relationships to do like they're supposed to, um, you have to be all right. You have to be healthy. You have to be emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually healthy in order to have the um, fresh start and the freshness of that start that will last all day if you know how to work it. And that's what we come together. These sessions are about the strategies and the ways that you can use. Now, everything doesn't work for everybody. I got that. But I'm just sharing things with you that have worked in my area when I was going through challenges. And as I have helped others, these strategies have worked for them. Those that have allowed it to work, it has worked beautifully. And those that struggle with it because they kind of want to keep staying in the valley of complaints and all of that, it doesn't quite, you know, uh, do that. So we definitely are examining phenomenons that we go through. Okay, I am a believer, and I do use the word of the Lord, excuse me, to help us to navigate our practical lives. Because saved, sanctified, and running over with all the Holy Ghost you can muster up, life still be lifing, and you need to know what to do with it when it does that. Okay, so that's what we do. I like to pray before we get started in each session. So let's pray. Father, we thank you this morning. We give you praise, we give you honor, we give you glory. We thank you so much for your goodness and your mercy. Now, Father, this session talk to us and help us to see a better way to look at life, look at perspectives, Father, and look at being better and keeping our fresh start fresh throughout the day. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, we've been dealing this week basically with keeping our fresh start as parents. You're like, whoa, whoa, that's high in the. Please let me pull up a seat and sit down and hear this. Our fresh start as parents takes some work. Let me just say that right out the gate. It takes some work. Okay. You don't just wake up with a baby that is just quiet, a baby that has manners, a baby that um, when you sit them or put them somewhere, that's where they stay until you come back. No, that's not the kind of children most of us have had. Now there are some, but most of us have not had those kind of children. What we've had is the active kind, the rambunctious kind, the tomboy kind, the opinionated kind. That's what we've had, and even in raising them and shaping them, it's a challenge because you are going against the grain in terms of them being who they are might not be who you think you see. Okay, and so we want to just go into that. Yesterday we dealt with, uh, not wanting to wake up in the morning. You done worked all week. You had to hit the clock all week. Saturday morning come, you just want to sleep. Don't nobody call you. Don't nobody need nothing. If you need something, go get it yourself. Just leave me alone and let me sleep this morning. And the next thing you hear is, Ma, Mama, Ma, Dad, Daddy. And if you don't answer, because a lot, if you did like I did when I was raising my children, you want to just pull the cover up over your face and don't call me. Don't say my name another time. I'll say my title rather, because mom and dad are titles. And if you don't answer, if your children did like my children did, uh, you feel this on the bed, on your body, mama, mama. They were calm, but mama, 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 wake up. I need to ask you. Mama, I need, mama, mama, can you come? Mama, can you do this? And you want to say, girl, if you don't go somewhere, it's Saturday morning. You don't need nothing right now to be waking me up. Yes, I do, mama. Yes, I do. Anybody identify? Does anybody identify with me this morning? Well, guess what? That's normal. That's normal. You're right, normal. That's normal. And when you get to understand what's normal, you tend to calm down. And your fresh start is able to continue. You were awakened with the most beautifulest of fresh starts. You were awakened with uh, new mercies, Lamentations 3:22-23, and they're new every morning. But yesterday morning we had them, but that's gone. Tomorrow morning we don't know if we're going to see them because we don't know if we're going to be here. But this morning, this one right here, we know the fresh mercies are here. Why? Because of the fact that we have been awakened in this morning, and new mercies were sitting here waiting on us when we awaken. So with my dad, all of that, you still have a fresh start. Now the challenge is, how do I enjoy it in spite of all of that? And then how do I keep it throughout the day? Because that was just the beginning, the children. Now you're going to work if you're still in the workforce. Then you're going to get off and you're going to come home, and if you have a family that you have to provide for in terms of food or washings and getting baths and all this kind of thing, you got to get home and keep working. And so you really have to navigate your freshness through all of that. So at the end of the day, when you lay down, excuse me, when you lay down, guess what? Your freshness is still there. Now I know some of y'all may be looking at me saying, Chanagrace, get real, girl. By the time the end of the day come, I'm bushed, I'm flagged, I'm exhausted. Been there, done that. But what I have done, I call him daddy. Some of y'all may call him God, you may call him Heavenly Father, you may call him Most High, you may call him Creator. My relationship with God is daddy, because he's been there for the good, the bad, the ugly, the despicable, the successful, you name it, been there. Excuse me. So, with that said, okay, with that said, what we have done we have decided that what we're going to do is keep our freshness, okay? Now, let's see, first of all, let's look at God's mind for for children, okay? He's told us in his word that when you've done it unto the least of these, you've done it unto me. All right? That's how intense he is about a child. Okay? And some of y'all may be saying, yeah, but I don't have children no more. I got teenagers, and oh God, still in God's eyes, they are a child. And if you think about it, in your eyes, they are a child too. The first thing you want to tell them, you better go somewhere. You ain't even grow. You don't even know what life is about. And you want to try to act like you know. You better go somewhere. You still a child. Tell me we haven't said it. Yeah, we have. But let's see how Daddy looks at children. Matthew 18:10, and this is what it says. See that you do not despise one of these little ones. For I tell you that their angels in heaven always see the face of my Father in heaven. Your children have angels that are there with Daddy. And when we don't treat them right, them angels go to Daddy and say, you see that? Now, you know, with your earthly mind, that child just provoked whatever you just did. But when Daddy looks, he wants to see you look at the children like he looks at the children. Now, don't get me wrong. He tab hind part too because he's a father. You don't follow that word, do what you're supposed to do. You don't treat life like life's supposed to be treated. And he come and tap on that tail. Stuff go to happening. You can't seem to get a hand up or a hand out. Oh, he tearing that up. Yeah. So he knows how children can get because we are his children. All right. But here's where he wants us to really strategize how we deal with them. It's normal. I said that previously, and I said it again for this reason. When you know something is normal, you don't pay it no mind. When you know something is normal, somebody might get out of the way with it, but you know what you say? Normal. That's normal. Somebody else is going all to pieces, and you know what you say? Oh, that's normal, child. If you fall to pieces over there, you're going to be falling to pieces every day. That's normal. See, when children are growing, it's normal for them with their reactions to a lot of things because they don't know what they're doing. And we talked about this yesterday, and I really want to capsize on it today, this morning. We forget once we get grown and we get to understand life to a degree, we forget when we were 10, 11, 12 years old. That's what we started dealing with yesterday. Now, today, I told you we're going to deal with the teenagers. When it comes to the teenagers, that's a whole nother ball game. And you want me to tell you why it's a whole nother ball game? Because of the fact that they're growing into their own identity. Now I can hear some of y'all now, I don't care what kind of identity they growing in. They in my house. And they better do what I say. I had the very same man. I'm paying the bills. I'm the one working a full-time job. I'm running you around to all your activities. I'm buying you clothes, getting your hair done, and folks getting nails done now. I wish I would have got my daughter's nails done, and you ain't paying a light bill. Devil is a lie. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. We're not doing that. Okay. When you get 18, get you 16 to get you a job, because my children had jobs at 16. Baby. 16 is when they can go to work. Every one of them sitting at Bojangles. Yeah. I told them, I need my nails done. You sure do. When you get your paycheck, go get them done. Just let me know when you get off work, you going to the nail shop, so I won't be looking for you home right then. Oh yeah, yeah, we did that. Yes, we did. Now my kids back then, my children, they didn't, uh, they weren't doing nails and stuff back then when they were teenagers that I remember. Okay, but even if they had, you get them done when you get a paycheck. Now when you get a paycheck, you get out there and you going to work. You want to get your nails done? Have at it, baby. Wouldn't bother me at all. But because that wasn't there was a lot of adjusting I had to do. A lot. And you think it gets easier when they get to be teenagers? Who can I who can identify with me? Oh no. Mm-mm. 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 It does not get easier. It doesn't get easier. No, it does not get easier. It certainly doesn't. Mm-mm. It doesn't get easier. I tell you what it gets. It gets tougher because you as a parent been used to telling that child what to do. You feel me? And all of a sudden, that child doesn't want to do it anymore because they don't like that, and they don't know how to tell you, Mom, Dad, can we talk? I'm not trying to be disobedient, but I don't like that. You've been telling me to do that since I was a little girl. A little boy. I don't. I know you all are my parents, and we're supposed to do what you say, but that I don't like that. I'm learning what I like it, but they don't know how to say that to you. And in raising them, you ain't thinking about that. You ain't thinking about that. You are not thinking about that. You thinking about a lot of things, but that ain't it. Okay? You're thinking about a lot of things, but that ain't it. Okay? Mm-mm. That's not it. Okay? So what you have to understand is that in order to keep your freshness, maybe as a parent, you have to readjust your mentality. Yeah, I know you've been used to calling the shots. I got it. I got it. You've been used to telling them what to do, and they better do it. I got it. That was the rule in my home until Daddy got my attention one day. And let me share this with you. My children were in high school. I think 15 and 16 or 16 and 17, I think it was. Somewhere in that range, okay? And they were having their school dance, and they wanted to go, and I did not stop them from going, because when I was growing up, the only place I could go was the house of the Lord. I couldn't enjoy, well, they didn't have stuff like that either, uh in private school, not then. And then when I got in public school, excuse me, my mom had heard so many horror stories till she called herself protecting me. No, you ain't getting out there. No, stay home. That's the way I know to keep you safe. Stay home. You ain't going out there. I couldn't go to my prom. Nothing. It was terrible. So I made sure that my children, that was not going to be their testimony. They were going to enjoy their school years, okay, and different things. They knew the rules. They knew them. And I made sure they knew them. Made sure they saw my face when I was dropping them off. Don't play with me. Okay. Was I scared? Yes. Because when children out of your sight, you can't say what they're doing. Okay? You can't say what a child is doing and they're out of your sight. You can't. You don't know what they're doing. You know what you told them to do, but you don't know what they're doing. Okay? So they came to me and they said, Mom, um, can we talk to you? Yeah. Because I put that rule down. You can always come and talk to me. Always. Okay? About anything. I don't care what it is. Anything. You can talk to me. So now sometimes I wasn't always welcoming when they came to talk to me. Because my mind, of course, is in a more mature place. And I'm thinking from an adult head, forgot to think with the teenage head. So a lot of times conversations didn't go so well. So they learned to talk to other folks instead of talking to their mother, who really loved them and was concerned, knew what was right for them at that moment, but it didn't set well for them. You understand me? Okay, that's another conversation for another time. So I said, yeah, they said I had already picked out what they were going to wear for the dance. Because I don't do the chest out and the thighs out and all that mess. We don't do that. That's not becoming to a woman. I don't care who do it. Don't write me no comments because I'm not changing my mind. Okay. So, with that said, uh, I told them, I said, I done already picked out what you gonna wear. I said, I done told y'all what you gonna wear. They said, Mama, if we go, and it was pretty, in my opinion. Follow me now. In my opinion, it was beautiful. They said, Mama, we can't wear that out there. I almost flipped out. I said, what are you talking about? You can't wear that out there. Yes, you can. And that's what you gonna wear. They said, well, Mom, we just won't go to. I said, no, you going and you gonna wear what I told you to wear. You can get out there and dance or whatever it is y'all do out there. I never been to one. I said, but whatever it is y'all do, you can do it. You don't have to do that. Mom, we can't, Mama. And my daughter said, Mama, we'll be laughed to scorn. We will be laughed to pew scorn. We'll just stay home. I said, no, you're not staying home. Mama, we can't. I mean, they were adamant, respectfully, but they were very firm. We not wearing that out there, Mom. We are not wearing that. I said, you don't get to tell me what you're not going to do. I'm your parent. You ain't mine. Mama, we're not trying to be this. And this is how the conversation just kept going. I told him, I said, that's the end. When I hit that point, I said, that's it. Now go back there and put the clothes on because it's almost time for you to go. They took a side, turned around, and walked off. They were like, man, I mean, their head was down. They were dreading it like nobody's business. I went in my room, and this is what Daddy said to me. He said, are you the one going to the dance? Or are they going to the dance? And I'm like, you ask me something like that. I know I'm not. They going to the dance. He said, and don't you think they know what goes on out there? Do you go to school out there? Now this is Daddy talking to me, God talking to me. I said, no, I don't. I said, but I know how I want my girls to be dressed. He said, you haven't even looked at what they picked out. They trying to tell you they picked out what they know will be accepted in that environment. He said, you won't even go look. I said, Dad, I know my children. He said, but you won't even go look. He said, they came to you respectfully to ask you, can they wear something different? And you won't even look. I said, Dad, if I go back there and see it and give them permission to wear it, I said, that's the end of the ball game. They'll think they can tell me what to do, and it'll be hell to pay for that. He said, your children know better. He said, but this is important to them, and you won't even go look. He just kept talking. I said, Daddy, I said, this ain't gonna turn out good. I said, but okay, fine. I mean, I was pissed at that point. But I knew if he was on me, he saw something and knew something I didn't. He said, go back there and look at what they got laid out. That was the hardest walk, y'all. That was the hardest walk that I ever had to take because I felt like it was opening a door for my children to tell me what they weren't gonna do if I said what they were gonna do. I won't open that door. When you get in your house, you can tell me what you're not gonna do because you paying the bills there. In my house, oh, you don't get to tell me that. But I walked back there. I was praying every step of the way. You got to help me now because I know what this gonna do. In my mind, I did. I want you to follow me. In my mind, I did. You know what happened when I got back there? I looked on the bed and I could have melted. Those girls had picked out the most beautifulest outfits. And when I say beautiful, it was a casual, but everything I would have been concerned about being covered, it was covered. It was beautiful. I went to the door and I said, is that what you all got laid out? Yes, ma'am, mama. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, and see, we got it. They went to fighting. I said, just calm down. I said, stop. I walked in the room. I looked at it. They said, Mama, we got everything. We remember everything you told us. I said, stop. Let me look at it. You don't have to plead your case. And I stood there. And I heard Daddy in my ear saying, now you see, everything you taught them, they remembered it and they followed it. Now you can't tell them no, that they can't wear that. And what could I say? Nothing. I said, this is what y'all, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am, mama, this is what we want to wear. I said, okay. They said, Mama, we can wear it. I said, yeah, you can. Oh, I said, let me tell you something. Because I'm letting you do this time, don't you all dare get to think that you gonna come tell me what you are and are not gonna do. I said I didn't like that part. Mom, we sorry, but we just had to, we didn't know how to let you know. We can't go out there the way you were gonna have us to go. Oh, they would have laughed us to cotton pieces. I said, well, I don't think it would have been that bad. Mama, you don't know. We seen it. And Daddy said, remember, you don't go to school out there. I said, okay. I said, put your clothes on. I walked out of that room. That was the toughest moment of my life, y'all. Toughest moment. Because I was very shaky about losing my stand with my children that they think they could run over me. Because their father and I had separated. So I was now a single parent. And I wasn't going to have it. I was, mm-mm. So I went back to my room and Daddy said something very profound to me. And this is going to help you with your freshness. I guess you said, what does all this have to do with a fresh start? Just hold tight. This is what Daddy said to me. He said, now what do you want them to do? They have 2 years before they leave. Hannah has 1. That was my oldest name. I had girl, boy, girl, boy. He said, what do you want them to do? Do you want them to wait till they get out there in the world and go crazy because you held them so tight? They didn't have no voice. They didn't have nothing. And then they get out there and they just gonna go crazy and they just telling everybody off and they messing up their life because you didn't give them a chance to express themselves intelligently, show them how to do it? Or do you want them you want to begin to give them some space, some room, so you can look inside their mind and see where their heads are now that they are approaching adulthood? He said, wouldn't you rather for them to be in the home and showing you their likes and dislikes so you can kind of guide them and mentor them, rather than for them you wait and wait till they get outside? So, well, now you can go ahead and do what you want to do, and they don't know what to do because they never were allowed to do it, to know whether it was right or wrong, so you could mentor them. Ladies and gentlemen, parents, that was a big wake up call for me. And let me tell you what happened. At the age of 16, I started allowing them to listen to God. I taught them how to hear God. I remember my youngest daughter came to me and she wanted to know about something, and I just turned around and asked her. I said, have you talked to Daddy? No, I said, at then I was saying your father. I said, have you talked to your father? She said, no, I ain't talked to him. I said, I'm not talking about your earthly daddy. She said, oh, no. She said, well, how will I know if I hear him? I said, oh, you know. I said, his voice is like none other. I said, go on back there and talk to him. She said, okay. Well, when she left, I looked up, I said, now, I don't try to eavesdrop on folk prayers, but you got to tell me this one, because she going to come back to me and tell me what she think you said to her, and I got to know whether she heard you or not. I said, but I won't know if you don't tell me what you told her. And he told me. I said, okay. So when she got through praying, she came back. She said, Ma, I said, yeah. She said, I think I heard him. I said, well, what did he tell you? And she told me, I can't remember what it was now. She told me. I said, okay. She said, did I hear him? I said, yeah, you heard him. She said, oh, that's what he sounds like. I said, that's what he sounds like for you. I said, now you can't put that on everybody. I said, because Daddy relates to everybody different. I said, but whatever voice you heard when you heard that, that's him. She said, oh my God, I heard from God. And she was so tired. I said, yeah, you did. I said, now keep that. And from now on, everything you go to do, talk to God. So, what am I saying? You see how that freshness came back? It left for a minute. But do you see how it came back? Do you see how it came back? Because I was willing to make adjustment. Now, at first me and Daddy had a conversation, but you don't talk to God too long because you liable to get slapped. You don't want that. So you better, express very respectfully how you feel, like he don't know, and he do. But if he keeps talking, just shut up, because you ain't gonna win. You're not gonna win. But that was the beginning of a fresh start for me embracing my children becoming adults. I began to understand, okay, that's what I like, but that might not be what they like. And I had to be all right with that because my fresh start had to stay in place. Understanding what was happening caused the freshness to come over me that brought me back to how I woke up, happy, excited, having a good day. It brought me back to that because then I began, the smile on my face was, wow, my children are embracing adulthood. I'm getting to see what they like, what they don't like. Wow. Wow. This is going to be interesting. You see how the freshness stay? Because see, the freshness is your calmness. And let's go to the serenity prayer. God grant me the serenity. And this word serenity means calmness. Grant me the calmness to accept the things I cannot change. Courage to change the things I can. And wisdom to know the difference. Wisdom to know the difference. Okay? I need you to understand that when you wake up in the morning with that fresh start, you have to change your perspective a lot of times to keep it. Now, somebody might say, oh, you gave in. I wouldn't have gave in. If I said that's what you want, I wouldn't have cared what happened. They better do what I say. Not as a parent. You're a scar child when you take that attitude that you don't care what they have to go through just so you can keep looking like the HNIC. You're a scar child. And you have to be reminded that's despising. That's a behavior of despising too. And you have to remember these children have angels that stands in the face of the same God that your angel stands in the face of. You feel me? You feel me? And what you have to understand is you don't want to get in trouble with God. Because see, when we have children, what's the first thing come out of our mouth? My child. That ain't your child. That's God's child that he's asked you to raise for him. That child was brought down here as a purpose with an assignment. And God trusted you with that gift of that child to raise that child for him to be what he sent it for in the earth. So yeah, they're your children to raise for him. Keep that part straight. Excuse me. They're your children to raise for him. So what you have to understand is that as parents, you have a flavor, but so does your children. And here's the other part. We feel like our children should have our flavor. That was another crash course. I had to get it through my head. My children don't have to have my flavor. That's my flavor. Mine. That's exclusive to me. They got to find their flavor because that's exclusive to them. Now, it may have some attributes of me in it, but it won't be my exact flavor. And many a times, that's what we're looking for, our exact selves in our children. You're not going to see it. You want to see your exact self? Go to the mirror. When you brush your teeth in the morning, look in the mirror. That's your exact self. Mm-hmm. That's your exact self. Okay? So, as you go on today, we'll be back in the morning. As you go on today, I want you to think about keeping your freshness that you woke up with as you parent through the day. If they running through the house and you haven't disciplined them, why you gonna try to knock them upside the wall? Stop that run. You ain't told them that they're not supposed to run in the house. You're gonna have to stop and look at what have I taught my child. Now, if I've taught you and told you and you run, yeah, I'm gonna tear that tail right on up. And I ain't gonna whip you for running, but I'm gonna hit that behind where you know stop and walk before you fall down and bust something. Okay? But if you haven't done that, then you can only thing you can say, hey, come here. We don't run in the house. If I tell you this again, I'm gonna tell you in a different way. And when you do them eyes like the old folk used to do us, oh, you know what they talking about. You see what I'm saying? So listen, you woke up with a freshness, parent with that freshness, and realize it's normal.